Hey everyone, it's Swagger on Bad Karma Paintball Team. We are super excited today to show you a little bit about the new Tippmann crossover trigger that they just came out with. A couple of reasons why we're excited about this is one, for the people on Bad Karma that used to run electronics and then went to the Tippmanns, we missed that ramping, that rolling, walking the trigger feeling that we had in our electronic markers. So when the crossover came out, we were super excited because it is truly a unique hybrid electronic marker and operates just like we want for an electronic. The only drawback we had was the trigger. It still had that stiff, semi-automatic trigger pull that Tippmanns have, which isn't a bad thing unless you're used to ramping or you want to be able to ramp and roll the trigger or walk the trigger. So in discussions with Tippmann and giving our reviews, we were happy that they came out with a solution. And that's this new trigger piece here. We've got the old trigger here, and we won't get caught up in the very close-ups here, but the old trigger, which was not adjustable as much as the new trigger is. Now there's a plastic piece on the end which you can gap as much as you want to help control when the trigger is activated or the firing is activated on the pull in and the release. It gives you the ability to customize that to your liking, which is important if you're going to roll. So back to the stock Tippmann. Stock trigger is on here. I'm going to show you a little bit. Now, I'm not the best ramper or walker by any means. But I'll show you how difficult it is with the stock trigger, and then we'll throw in the new trigger and show you just how much of a difference that makes in being able to roll the trigger. So turn this on. Alright, here we go. Make sure the eyes are off. Alright. So it's really hard, and that might have been echoing a lot, but it wasn't that consistent ramping that you get out of your other electronic markers, the gaps, breaks in the ramp. And I'm definitely pulling it fast enough. My fingers are moving fast enough on the trigger that if it was truly ramping, or an electronic marker that was able to ramp, that would have been consistent paint going, and it wouldn't have had those breaks in the shots. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pause the video real fast. We'll get this set up to show the teardown and install, so those of you watching can do this yourself and get it installed and see just how easy it is. So. Okay, here we go. Just got done pulling off the first screw. Now just removing the second screw in the grips. You only have to take off this side, the selector switch side of the grips, to remove the trigger. So once you get that done, popped open, of course you want to remove the power supply just so there's no issues. You don't short circuit your board or anything like that, or whatever could happen. You want to pop this selector switch down one notch from its safety, and then it will pull out. It's just that simple. That then allows you to now go and remove the two main bolts that hold the frame onto the top of the gun. Get those undone. The trigger pulls off. Just that easy. Now, here we are. There's the old trigger. The spring and all the firing mechanism. Super simple. Again, one of the things we love about this gun is that's as easy as it is. To pull out the trigger, there's just one pin. You just push that forward. That will pop out. And now you can remove the trigger. Let's get that spring tied on. So there's the old trigger, and here's the new trigger. Again, they appear to be very similar, although this is 65% lighter. There are some differences. One of the main differences is this plastic piece, which allows you to push the magnet back that actually tells the gun to fire. So we'll mess around with that and show you how that works and how you can customize when the trigger is pulled. So old trigger, bye-bye, new trigger. So we're going to install this now. Again, it's very simple. Put the spring in the hole right in front of the silver piece there. Then on the top of the trigger, you can see the circle right here where the other end of the spring goes into. Just slide that on top. Slide that on top. I'm struggling. Slide that on top. Get the pin in. There. That's all there is to it. Now the trigger is in. We'll put the gun back together, and then we'll adjust the magnetic piece right there. So slide that back on. Make sure everything's flush. There's no gaps. Put the gun back together. Put the selector switch in. Get that back to safety. Now you can put your battery back in. I'm only going to put one of the screws on, just so you guys don't have to watch me do both for 20 seconds. Let's get that one in there. Alright, now we're going to turn on the gun. You'll see here, it'll turn on. We're going to turn off the eyes. The eyes are now off, but the trigger is not working. And that's because we need to adjust it now. This is the fun part. So we'll start adjusting that back, and you'll actually hear the dwell engage as we... There, you hear that? Once you've done that, you want to give it about a good 3/4 turn. And now your trigger is responding, and it's perfectly set up. Now, of course, the Tippmann board allows you for many different settings. You can go MPPL, Millennium Tournament Mode, PSP, of course semi-auto, auto response, which happens to be my favorite, NXL, safe full auto, and then 3-round burst, which a lot of players on our team like to use. But now that new trigger is installed and ready to go. It is just that simple. So we'll turn it off, we'll throw some air on it, and then we'll ramp it up here for you guys real fast, just to see the difference here. Alright, let's turn it on here. The eyes off, and a lot of play, a lot of action, very, very smooth. Just a nice improvement. I took a great gun and just made it a little better, which is nice. But very excited for all of you that may have the old trigger. I'd recommend looking into getting the new one, and to those of you who are going to buy a crossover, you're picking a good gun. So enjoy, have fun with it. There are some more adjustments you can make with the board to adjust the dwell and all that, but overall, great trigger. Very satisfied with it. Can't wait to use it on the field next weekend. Have a good one. For those of you wondering, what do I do to get one? Because I already have a Tippmann crossover and I want the new trigger. Tippmann will send you a new trigger. All you have to do is go to Tippmann's webpage. There's some links in there. You have to register your marker so they know that you already own one. Once you register it, you can have them send you the new trigger at no expense. So again, very cool, Tippmann taking care of their customers even after they've already purchased the product. Again, for those of you that have been waiting to buy a crossover, they already come with the new triggers in, so all those trigger complaints and trigger problems people were having should be solved. We're super excited. I think you'll enjoy it.